The angel's message to you is brought to you today by the angel of love, and he says, don't be grieved for love or respect. My beloved, you need not beg for love, nor beg for it. Authentic love flows naturally, without demands or demands. It must be reciprocal and selfless, without seeking to be a cause or a consequence. It is important to understand that genuine love is not begged for, nor received as a last resort. Nor should you beg for respect. Just because of who you are, you deserve respect. Therefore, you must understand that there is no reason to be begging for respect over and over again. In this special message that comes with light directly to your being, you must pay attention and open both your mind and your heart to absorb and find the real essence that dwells in you and achieve changes in your life. That is why, staying until the end, you will discover why this message was really for you and how much you needed it. Also, take advantage of the final advice to take your first big step. Today, I will guide you through this spiritual lesson so that you can discern true love. Society has taught many misconceptions about love, but it is essential to understand that true love is kind, compassionate, and provides stability, calm, and peace. Throughout your life, you may have experienced mistakes disguised as love, but remember that true love manifests itself differently. There is no need to associate love with anguish or discomfort. True love brings you victory, it propels you forward. However, sometimes you have been shown distorted interpretations of love. It is time to understand that you should not beg or settle for crumbs of love. You deserve authentic love, and today I accompany you to understand that you deserve to be loved unconditionally just as you are. So that you understand that you deserve respect, despite the mistakes you may have made. I invite you to reflect on the times when unfair demands have been made on you in the name of love. Often, your limits and desires have been exceeded, and you have given in for fear of losing that love. It is important for you to understand that what was asked of you in the name of love, and what made you feel so bad, was actually a form of manipulation and emotional blackmail. At times, they have abused your generosity and your desire to be loved to get what they wanted. They have not always cared about how you felt or what you needed, putting their own desires before your well-being. This situation can be painful to accept, but it is crucial that you become aware of it in order to free yourself. Recognize that you have made mistakes, but always with good intentions. You may have believed that others were acting out of love, when in fact they were acting out of convenience. However, any action you have taken out of love has been valuable, never a mistake. You must free yourself from any feelings of guilt or shame for acting out of love, even if others have not. Remember that the universe gives back what you give, and if you give love, you will eventually receive true love. Today it is crucial that you understand that self-respect and dignity are responsibilities that fall to you. On your path, you will meet people who respect you and value your dignity. However, you will also come across those who are willing to trample on it to satisfy their own desires, regardless of the consequences to you. When you truly love someone in any aspect of life, you care about their well-being, respect them, and avoid causing them pain. This only happens when love is genuine. Therefore, it is essential that in order for your family, love, friendship, and even work relationships to thrive, you must first love yourself. Taking care of yourself, respecting yourself, valuing yourself, and protecting your dignity are essential steps. In doing so, you will learn to make yourself respected in all your interactions. Conversely, if you do not value yourself enough, you are likely to encounter people willing to take advantage of you, without considering the consequences to yourself. You may encounter people who, although they have no bad intentions, are completely unaware of the meaning of true love. This could lead them to disrespect you, humiliate you, and even forget that you deserve to be treated with dignity. They may not value your pain because they always prioritize their own interests. Some people will act this way consciously, while others will act this way unconsciously. Regardless of the intention behind their actions, these situations will have consequences on you, and in the end, you will be the one who suffers the consequences. It is important for you to understand that you should not beg for love from anyone or settle for something that is not enough for you. Love is not to be begged for, it must come naturally and be satisfying. If it is forced, it ceases to be love and can cause more pain than it intends to alleviate. Forcing or demanding something will always cause pain, suffering, and anguish instead of love and satisfaction. You may have been led to believe that suffering is inevitable in love, but the truth is that it can be avoided. The key is to love yourself completely in the first place. Love all of your facets, both positive and negative. You must take care of yourself and recognize yourself as deserving of everything good, including unconditional love. Even if you know there are things you need to change, if you work on it and connect with love for yourself, you won't have to beg or plead for love. Now and before we continue, I invite you to subscribe and share our channel. Your support helps us to create more valuable content for you. When you love yourself, you will not fall into the traps of those who pretend to be victims to get what they cannot get for themselves. You will not need to look for crumbs of love, nor will you be a victim of manipulation or blackmail. You simply will not allow it. You must understand that you deserve to be loved just as you are, even as you work to improve aspects of yourself. Your value is not diminished by not meeting the expectations of others. Some people may try to change you completely, to mold you into their image and likeness to fit what they want. They will make you believe that they will love you more, that you will be more worthy of love. However, you will find yourself constantly changing to please others, begging to be loved and giving up your true essence to be what others expect of you. Today, I want to enlighten you, bless you, and embrace you so that you understand that you can overcome this situation where you feel you are begging for love. You have the ability to overcome yourself and get ahead. It is no longer necessary to allow others to take advantage of your kindness, your feelings, or you in general. It is essential to understand that love is a pure and elevated energy that does not demand or ask for anything in return, and above all, does not make you suffer. Sometimes it can be difficult to accept that someone does not love you back in the same way that you love them, but it is important that you value yourself enough to not allow this to affect your self-esteem and emotional well-being. This type of situation can occur in relationships, as well as in family and friendship. At certain times you will realize that someone is very important to you, but perhaps you are not so important to that person. However, this should not make you feel inferior, but should push you to love yourself even more. You should be aware that the most unconditional and genuine love you can experience is self-love. From there, any other form of love you receive will be complementary, but not indispensable. It is important to recognize that you may also have been the one who has placed someone in a secondary place in your life, even though that person considers you important. However, this does not justify treating that person badly or belittling him or her. You should not allow others to treat you in a way that you would not treat anyone else. It is normal that when you realize that someone does not love you in the same way that you love them, you will need some time to process the pain that this causes you. It is part of the grieving process necessary to move on. I understand that this process can be difficult to assimilate, but it is important that you give yourself time to understand it and, above all, to understand that it is not your fault. It is not because of anything you have done or anything you are. The love someone feels is born within that person, and you cannot change it. Although it can be distressing to realize that someone does not feel the same way about you as you do about that person, it is essential that this experience strengthens rather than destroys you. You should not place your life, your happiness, or your worth in the hands of another person. If you do, you will be vulnerable to that person's whims and your self-esteem could suffer. You are not a whim, you are someone valuable, worthy of true and unconditional love. If you feel that someone is belittling your capacity to love, you must remember that the one who is really losing is that person, not you. When you give the best of yourself, you have lost nothing. It is the other person who loses by not being willing to receive it. It is critical that you value yourself and recognize your own worth, regardless of how others treat you. I understand the difficulty of this process, but it is important that you recognize that if someone makes you change your essence to be worthy of their love, then that is not true love. Although it may not be easy to overcome, if at the end of the road you find love for yourself, it will all be worth it. By understanding that love is not to be begged for, you begin to free yourself not only on a personal level, but also spiritually and emotionally. I know you have gone through times when you have begged for love, feeling like a beggar for the affection and attention of others. However, this is not something to be ashamed of. It is part of the learning process necessary to achieve true love for yourself. True love is shown, expressed, and shared freely. It is not begged or pleaded for. If you find yourself in a situation where you give and give without receiving anything in return, you should be aware that this is not the right place for you. This does not mean that giving without expecting to receive is wrong. Quite the contrary, true love is offered in a selfless way. However, if you find yourself in a situation where it never seems to be enough and you settle for crumbs of love, you may be begging for that person's love and settling for something you don't deserve. Remember that you deserve the best in life. Your natural state is abundance, which is not limited to material wealth alone, but includes a host of good things, including love. To align yourself with abundance, you must accept it in all its forms, including love. Don't settle for affective scarcity or lack of love. Love yourself fully, and you will see genuine loving people come into your life. It is even possible that those who are already in your life will change their perspective and begin to love you differently. Sometimes, you need to set boundaries and make yourself respected in order to get what you need and what is right for you. If you feel that someone is constantly showing disinterest in you, this can provoke two reactions in you. On the one hand, you may try more and more to get their attention and seek their affection, which can be beneficial in some family, couple, or friendship situations. However, if disinterest persists regardless of your efforts, and nothing you do seems to be enough, this should tell you that you don't need to look for true love there. Love is freedom, understanding, support, and affection. It is respect, and it is also light. And that light is inherent to you. It belongs to you by divine right. You don't need to beg for it or beg for it as if it were something extraordinary. If someone does not give you that light, you do not have to keep waiting for them to give it to you one day. It is important that you work on yourself to cultivate that light in your life. True love begins with yourself. Now I ask you, are you willing to tune your mind to the melody of success and allow prosperity to flow to you? Today, I have left in the description a powerful tool that will help you and bring you closer to your happiness, peace, and tranquility. I invite you to get to know it. Be proactive and open the doors to a future where success and prosperity are your daily reality. Do not underestimate the power of now. The opportunity you have today to change your life will never present itself in the same way again. Act today, go for the description and create the tomorrow you deserve. Blessings forever.